Good day to you and everyone watching this video. My name is Praise and you are watching PinTech Invention. In this video, we are going to be doing a reverse engineering in the charging pin of a torchlight. So I'm going to be showing you how to replace the charging pin of a torchlight. But if you've not done so, do well to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button. So let's go into PinTech. So there we go. So we can see that this torchlight has charging pin issues. Can see that the charging pin has broken. Now, how do we replace this charging pin? This is the exact charging pin that got broken inside this torchlight. So if I should fix this charging pin, this torchlight will be as perfect as its original state. But is it that easy to just go out there and buy this charging pin? In most places, it is impossible. So, how do we fix this charging pin issue? Well, we do this using a 2-pin plug. Some are in black form while some are white in color. And we can get this pin in most electronic stores. So we'll go out there, we'll just ask for 2-pin plug. So we have black colors and we have white. Those are the most common. So let's get started. Now, in replacing this charging pin, there are two methods. We have the stationary pin type and we also have the sliding pin type. Now, the stationary pin type is the quickest and easiest to fix. But the sliding pin type involves a bit further work on it. Now we'll start with the stationary pin type. We're going to fix a stationary pin in this torchlight. This stationary charging pin is meant to be just like this. So it is stationary, so it will just look like this. So what we'll first do to this charging pin plug, we'll lose it. Then after taking off this is what we find inside. So we'll also keep it apart. So we first have to ensure that this part is firmly attached to the back of the torchlight. So first we have to create a passage for these wires through this place. So I have a tester that is sharpened for the purpose of drilling a hole in this point here. So the hole should be very close to this threading here. So just open the hole here. And this hole is meant for the wires. So we then pass the wires through this hole here. So we can see how it looks like now. You can see how it looks like. We have to ensure that the edge of this charging pin here rhymes with the end of the touchlight plastic here. So we can see that they are in alignment. So what we have to do now is to drive screws here to hold this charging pin, to hold this plastic firmly to the back of the touchlight. And we'll do that using a needle, a long needle. And we can also use a candle here. We'll heat the needle to a very hot extent. Then we'll pierce holes before driving our screw. So those holes are where the screw is going to pass through. So I'll light up my candle. Then I'll take my needle and I held it with a plier. Then I'll place the tip. The screws are going to be in this point and this point here. These 2 points are where the screws will be. So now the needle is hot, so I'll pierce the hole. So I have to be careful when passing through this process. So I've successfully opened the channel for the screws. So we'll now tighten the screw through that hole there. Now the advantage that the sliding charging pin has over this stationary charging pin is that the sliding charging pin is almost as good as the original pin in the touchlight, because it has the ability to slide. So I'm driving these screws in here so you can see. Then I'll ensure that it's well tightened. So as you can see, I'm almost done. You can see that this charging pin here is well tightened. Now please let it be noted that we have to attach these screws to one side of the touchlight. If I am to open this touchlight now, this touchlight is going to separate. This plastic here, this body here is going to separate from this one. So if we are to attach this charging pin plastic here, we have to attach it to one side of the touchlight and not to the two sides. Because if you attach it to the two sides, you have to lose this plastic here before opening your touchlight. But like this, I can open my touchlight without tampering with the charging pin. So now we're almost done. The last step is to connect the wires to the pin. So this is the pin. I'm going to connect these wires to that pin. So I have to fold this edge so that the pin will have a firm grip on it. I'm folding this edge so that the pin will be able to have a strong grip on it. Now, it is also important that if we are using an extension wire to extend the wire inside the AC wire inside the touchlight, it's important that we use a thicker wire. The reason is because when we are attaching the wire to this charging pin, so that it will be easier and it will be firm. So I will do that to connect the second wire. I'll bend the edge and I'll put it inside the charging pin hole there. Then I'll tighten these screws. So we can see that this wire has been connected to this charging pin. You can see that. Now I'll place the charging pin in its position here. So once it is positioned, this is how the pin will look like. Then we'll bring the other plastic. Then we'll use it to cover up the charging pin. Then we'll tighten it from the top here. So I've not tightened this rechargeable, this touchlight. Tighten it. Now we can also choose to support this pin with gum here. We can use any gum to apply around this plug here. We can support it with a gum. You can use any gum that has the ability to gum plastics. So this is how we fix this, the stationary charging pin. So the next is the sliding charging pin. But it's up to you to choose which one you prefer between the stationary charging pin and the sliding charging pin. But it's also important that you do well to watch out the sliding charging pin in the next video. Thank you for watching that very building pin tech invention video. Please, if you've not done so, do well to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button. And in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to build a portable rechargeable fan using a 0.5 volt to 6 volt rotor and a 7500 RPM rotor or a DVD player rotor. Thank you.